Good morning, Algebra 1. I have meetings again out at the district center today, so I'm sorry I'm not here with you. But really, I'm here with you right here, right now. We're talking. We are actually going to finish up our flip book and do the application, that last little flap. So if you would like to take that out so we can do these 4 problems together. Really today you're going to be given a word problem. You're going to have to write your 2 equations. That's going to be obviously the hardest part, but then after that it's just elimination, and I know you guys are really good at that. So just take really clean, organized notes, and it will be okay. And if it's not okay, you will clean up whatever mess there is tomorrow, all right? So no worries. Let's just get our notes done and we'll see how the rest of the day goes. Okay, so this first problem is 15 in our flip book. So the first thing you want to do is read the whole problem, and then we'll go back and highlight some key info. So it says, the sum of 2 numbers is 53. If twice the first number minus 3 times the second number is 26, find both numbers. So sometimes it helps if you highlight, what am I trying to find? I'm trying to find both numbers. Well, right now we have no idea what those numbers are. So I'm going to call x equals my first number. And then I'm going to call y my second number. So we always have to define what our variables are because that helps make our life a lot easier. Now from here we're going to go back and reread and see if we can make equations off the words. So it says the sum of these 2 numbers is 53. So remember, sum means to add. So all I need to do is x plus y equals what? 53. Okay, so there's our first equation. That wasn't so bad. Now our second equation says if twice the first number, so how do I show 2 times my first number? Well, that would be 2x minus 3 times the second number, so 3y is what, guys? Is 26. So there we go. So now we have a problem that we've been solving since what? Last Monday? We can do this. Obviously the easiest thing to do here, folks, is just elimination. So I'm looking at my 2 equations, and I could either get rid of x or y right away because they both have a coefficient of 1 in that blue equation. But since I have opposite signs on my y's, I think it would just be easier to get rid of those y's because I can multiply the top one by a 3. So if I go and distribute that 3 through, I'll have 3x plus 3y equals, then 53 times 3. Here, let me check what I wrote. It's 159. Perfect. Now from here, I can add these 2 equations. 2x plus 3x gives me my 5x. Negative 3y plus 3y, go away. That's what we wanted, right? If that doesn't happen, we did something wrong. And now 26 plus 159 is 185. And then our last step is just to divide by 5. And then 185 divided by 5 is 37. So now we know our first number is 37. Now we can just plug back in to find y. So I'm just going to plug into that top equation just because it's the simplest. So 37 plus y equals 53. Get rid of that 37. (53) minus 37 is 16. There we go, folks. And then I did check it. It does work if I plugged it into my second equation, but I'll save you that step, and you can just trust me on it. But then since it is a word problem, we have to kind of write out what our answers mean. So I'm going to say my first number equals 37, and my second number equals 16. There we go. See? Not so bad. It just takes a little bit more time than what our other problems had done. At any point, if this video is going too fast, remember you can pause it, write down, and then get caught back up, right? No need to write down without understanding what you're doing. Okay, let's check out 16. It says the Boy Scouts are selling popcorn at the parade to raise money for their camping trip. Ethan sold 9 small bags and 2 large bags and made $36.05. Jack sold 5 small bags and 7 large bags and made $48. Find the cost of a small and a large bag of popcorn. Okay, so remember, we first have to figure out what our variables mean, and that's always going to be like this last part. Find the cost of a small and large bag. So I'm going to have X equals the cost of a small bag. And I'm going to have Y equal the cost of a large bag. And yes, you do have to write this out because otherwise you'll probably get confused when you plug back in to say how much each was. So just take the 3 seconds and just write out what X and Y equals. Okay, so now we have 2 boys, right? Ethan and Jack. So let's write out Ethan's equation. So if I go back to Ethan, it says Ethan sold how many small bags? He sold 9. So I'm going to have 9x plus, and how many large bags? 2. And his total was $36.05. Now if we go to Jack, Jack sold 5 small bags and 7 large bags for a total of 48. So now we have our 2 equations, and now we simply just eliminate. So now when I look at my 2 equations here, we don't really have a nice number that I can multiply one of them by to get whole numbers, right? So we're going to have to either get rid of our x's or our y's by multiplying both equations. I just took, to get rid of my x's, I'm going to take the top equation by 5, because that's the number out in front of the x on the bottom. And then I'm going to take my bottom equation by -9, so then I have opposite signs. So now from here, we're just going to distribute through. So our first equation will be, so 5 times 9x will be 45x plus 10y equals 3605 times 5 is 180.25. Okay, now we're going to multiply our bottom equation by -9, so we'll get -45x minus 63y equals -432. Some big numbers, but that's okay. Okay, now we can combine these 2 equations. So 45x minus 45x, they cancel, that's what we want, so we're good to go. 10y minus 63y would be -53y is equal to 180.25 minus 432 is -251.75. Divide by -53. So we find that y equals $4.75. So for a large bag of Boy Scouts popcorn, it's $4.75. Okay, now we have to find the cost of our small bag, so I'm just going to plug into our top equation up there. So I'm going to have 9x, let's see, plus 2 times 475 is equal to 3605. Okay, now from here, what's 2 times 475? That is 950. Equals 3605. Subtract over that 950. So then we have 9x is equal to 2655. Divide out by 9. X equals 2.95. Woo! So again, since it's a word problem, We should probably write out in words what this means. So a small bag is $2.95, and a large bag is $4.75. And again, you can plug back in and check, but I did that for us, so I know these work. So you can put your little check mark there. How are we doing? Are you falling asleep on it yet? I'm sorry. We're getting through it. We're getting through. 2 more. Let's just see what these look like. Okay. 17. It says pre-orders for the yearbook cost $38 each, while full price costs $45 each. If 24 students in Mr. Hellman's homeroom purchased yearbooks for a total of $975, how many students ordered a pre-order or bought their yearbook at full price? Okay, so remember, what are we looking for? Or for how many students ordered a pre-order or paid full price? So X equals number of pre-orders, Y equals number of full price. Okay, so now let's go back up and see what our 2 equations could be. So we're told the price up here, pre-orders, are $38 and full price are $45. That's great, but that's not helping me so much right now. But then we're told Mr. Hillman's class has 24 total students that are purchasing a yearbook. So I know X, the number of pre-orders, plus the full price orders has to be a total of 24. So that's how many total kids are getting a yearbook. And then we're told the total cost was $975. Well, how much was it for a pre-order? Well, a pre-order is 38. So I'm going to have 38x. And how much did it cost for a full price? 45. And the total for the whole class was $975. There we go, folks. We have our equations. Again, we can easily get rid of x or y in this case. Let's see what I did. I must be very unoriginal because, again, I got rid of my x. That's okay. So what do I want to multiply this equation by to get rid of a positive 38x? Well, that'd be a negative 38. So when I distribute through, I'll have negative 38x minus 38y. And then 24 times negative 38 is, let's see, negative 912. Now from here, folks, let's add these together. My x's go away because that's what we wanted. 45y plus negative 38y gives me 7y. And then 975 plus negative 912 is 63. Easy peasy, divide by 7, y equals 9. So 9 people paid full price for a yearbook. Let's figure out how many people pre-ordered. So we're going to plug back in. So x plus 9 equals 24. Subtract out our 9. X equals 15. And again, I checked these, we're okay. But since it is, again, application, let's write out what this means. So we had 15 pre-orders, and we had 9 full price. Woo! They're kind of fun, right, guys? Like, it's kind of cool that you can do this on your own and figure this out. There's something kind of relaxing, or I don't know what the right word is. Satisfying is the word I want to use, to have a word problem, do all this work to get nice answers, right? Or is that just something that I like to do? It's probably just me. But moving on to our last question here, number 18. This one, for whatever reason, always tricks people. But it's not so hard. So let's just look at it together and see what we can come up with. It says, Angelina has a, let's restart. Reverse. Okay. Angelina has a collection of nickels and dimes worth $4.65. If she has 70 nickels and dimes, how many of each does she have? So are you getting sick of me asking this yet? What are we looking for? How many of each does she have? Well, what two things do we have here? We have X can be number of nickels, and Y can be number of dimes. Perfect. So now I have two things. I have how much money, like the money value, and how many total coins. So let's first write the total number of coins she has. So it says she has a total of 70. I don't know how many of each, but I know my nickels plus my dimes equals 70 total coins. Okay. And then we're also told that it's worth $4.65. Oh, perfect. Because of what? You guys, how much is a nickel worth? 5 cents. So how do I represent that using decimals or as a number? 0.05, right? 5 cents. So I have this many nickels plus how much is a dime worth? 10 cents. So 0.1 Y equals our total amount of $4.65. Beautiful. Got our two equations. Now from here, let's get rid of our X or Y. Again, this one's kind of nice because I can either get rid of X or Y very easily. And again, true to fashion, I went with X because why not? So how am I going to get rid of this positive 0.05? I'm going to multiply by negative 0.05. So when I distribute through, I'm going to have negative 0.05 X minus 0.05 Y equals 70 times 0.05, folks, is negative 350. But for some reason, I feel like that's off. Just let me check. You guys just take a little brain break while I check this real fast. Okay, it's right, it just seems weird. Okay, back to business here. Okay, let's add our equations together. Our x's go away, because that's what we wanted. Now, what's 0.1y minus 0.05y? So think about what's 10 cents minus 5 cents, folks. 5 cents. And then $4.65 minus $3.50 is $1.15. Now simply just divide out 0.05y divided by 0.05. Oh, we want that y to stay though. I'm losing my marbles. Is it Christmas yet? Okay. When we divide out, 0.05 goes into 115 23 times. So we have 23 dimes. Now let's figure out how many nickels we have. So if I plug in x plus 23 equals 70, subtract over our 23, x equals 47. So again, we have a word problem, so let's use some words to describe our answer. We have 47 nickels and 23 dimes. Thank you guys so much. I know that was probably super boring, but you know what? You guys are the best, so thank you. Be good for the sub. Help each other out. Stay on task. You have a peach worksheet. Let me look at it quick. See what you can do. Attempt all of them. And if we are totally lost, tomorrow's a new day, and I will be there to help you out, okay? Have an awesome day. I'll see you tomorrow morning.